Welcome to tonight's show, and in our lead story, Reon Schutte has survived 12 years in CHIKARUBY prison, locked up for 22 hours a day in a cell with 50 other prisoners, so cramped that while sleeping they all have to turn over at the same time. No exercise, hardly any food, lots of lice, occasional beatings. I spoke to him on Friday, his second day of freedom. When he left the country, P.W. Botha was president. When he returned on Thursday after 12 years in a Zimbabwean prison, his former enemies were in charge. For them, he only had thanks.
I just want to thank President Mbeki, the South African government, and the Zimbabwean government for releasing me and giving me a chance to be part of the new South Africa.
In 1990, Reon Schutte went to Zimbabwe as a 28-year-old SADF soldier on a covert mission, allegedly spying on the ANC. In March 1992, he was arrested with a stolen car and unlicensed weapons. Reon was no ordinary car thief. After 2 years in Harari's remand prison, he was sentenced to 26 years in CHIKARUBY.
It was terrifying, unbelievable.
Who was there to help you?
No one. No one.
Who was defending you?
I had no defense.
So was there a feeling that you'd been abandoned?
Yes.
Reon, to many people, CHIKARUBY inspires fear, just the name itself. Can you describe that place?
It's a horror house. The death rate in CHIKARUBY when I arrived there in 94 was about 7 a year. When I left there, the death rate was about 10 a week. There's no food, there's no running water, overcrowding. The cell that was built for 12 people houses 50. You sleep on the floor. Human rights we cannot talk about. There's none. You've got to survive on a cup of rice and half a cup of boiled vegetable a day.
Does it ever change?
No. Oh yeah, it changes. If I haven't got cabbage, you get nothing.
10 years into his sentence, Reon was riddled with cancer and struggling to stay alive. A support group in South Africa was lobbying for his release on humanitarian grounds. He was freed after South African President Thabo Mbeki asked his Zimbabwean counterpart Robert Mugabe to grant a presidential pardon. Reon's release has been lauded by the South African government as a victory for so-called quiet diplomacy. Do you buy that?
Yes, I have to. It's been proven. I believe that President Mugabe can be reached and he can be influenced with quiet diplomacy. I think President Mbeki is doing what he can and in the way he should do it. And I think we're all going to be pleasantly surprised one day to see that his quiet diplomacy is paid off.
Were you abused by the other prisoners at all?
No. No. Can't recall one incident where I had problems with my fellow prisoners. Guards, yes, a few times. I had to go on various hunger strikes at certain times through the years to try and obtain my rights. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.
Were you beaten by them?
A few occasions, yes, I was assaulted. Assault is commonplace. They see it as their right to beat prisoners.
The daily routine?
You spend about 22 hours locked up a day, 2 hours outside. No recreation allowed, no books, no writing material, no radios, nothing. One toilet that doesn't flush. The place is crawling with lice, infectious diseases. Many people is AIDS infected. TB is prevalent. Malnutrition is prevalent.
Reon, with your political background, it must have been quite a rude shock to be thrown into prison with so many other black prisoners.
Yes, I've got to admit that. It was a wake-up call. There came a time where I realized that what I was taught, what I was brought up to believe was wrong. That I'm no better than the next man, and he's no better than me. We are both just ordinary human beings, and we'll only get as much out of life as what we put in.
Now, staying with friends in Potchefstroom, far away from the horrors of prison, Reon's biggest challenge is adjusting to life outside.
No man, myself included, can spend that many years in conditions like that and come out there a normal person. I realize my biggest battle is not over. It's just started. To readjust to society, become a normal, law-abiding, ordinary citizen of South Africa again. It's not going to be easy. It's not just coming out of CHIKARUBY after 12 years. It's coming to a brand new country that I haven't heard of, read about, seen for 12 years. So obviously I was apprehensive. You don't know what's awaiting you.
And every hour must be a new discovery.
Oh, definitely. Cell phones, CDs, DVDs, I don't know. Everything is new. Women.
For the last few years in prison, Reon was kept alive by his South African support group. They wrote hundreds of letters, lobbied for his release, and rallied around him.
I went in weighing 75 kilograms. I was fit. I dropped to about, at one stage, I was 49 kgs after my 5th operation. And if it was not for my support group that sent me food parcels and paid for the operations and paid for the medicine, I wouldn't have been sitting here today.
What's your health like now?
Not well. As you can see, I don't look well. I'm busy undergoing medical tests now. Got to get teeth.
Did you get any dental repair work done?
No, nothing. I must try and swallow half-boiled cabbage without chewing it. It's an experience.
You can laugh about it now, eh?
Well, if I don't laugh about it, I'm going to cry about it.
It's very positive for someone who's just come out of more than a decade's detention.
Well, my friend, if you come from where I come and you come back to South Africa and you see how prosperous it is, I was expecting chaos and murder in the streets, blood running down the gutters. And, I mean, just look around you. I've never seen it so prosperous in 43 years. Our star is bright and it's rising.
Because this is the start of your new life. Eh?
Oh yes, and I'm going to make it in South Africa. It's a paradise if you are prepared to follow the rules, live together and work for it. And I'm going to work for it. I think the 12 years in CHIKARUBY did me well, taught me something. Taught me that we can live together, we can build a nation together.
Surviving CHIKARUBY is one thing, coming out with a positive attitude is really another realm. Reon's contact details are on our website.